song you turn gone. Now the band turn upon the version. Hey man, you played wrong. Now she's no longer your woman. Can't take rejection, you should have show affection. Well, now all is well with Mikel and me. Living in happiness like love's supposed to be. Completely free, yo, my apologies, player. Woo-hoo, if I love is
Don't you try not to judge me. Je suis une âme rebelle, consciente d'un mille. On ne peut m'empêcher.
Yeah, Kojak. I think she's trying to log on. She just requested to enter the
picture.
Yeah. You can see a picture? I can't see a picture.
Nice.
Her video is muted. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Loud
good.
and clear.
You sound loud and clear.
Good.
Awesome. All right, right on time, 8:02 p.m. Okay. Good evening, folks. Good evening. Welcome once again to another episode of Vibes In. I'm your host, Donovan Fabian, and my co-host, Fitzroy Augustus, aka Kojak. And tonight we are very, very pleased and honored to have in the house with us Miss Mikel Henderson, the Princess of Song from South City, Grand Bay, a well-known international artist, making a lot of waves, been in this for a very long time, and has kept it going. And we are very happy to have her on. So, Mikel, thank you very much. We know you're busy in Dominica's Independence time, but you were gracious enough to lend us your time. So thank you so much and welcome to Vibes In.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Awesome. So I don't know if you're familiar with Vibes In, but you know, Vibes In, we have informal conversation. There's no interview. We just vibes. We just talk, you know, about yourself and your journey, how you got started. So that's what we do. And I was told that we only have an hour with you tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah, hopefully. And there's a lot happening in Dominica right now. It's
I know.
The Creole Festival Week with rehearsals, with arrivals of guest musicians.
Yeah.
So it's been quite hectic.
I know, and that's why I know that. That's why I'm so very grateful to you for taking time.
Actually have this interview, a rehearsal, and an arrival from the airport tonight. So all three are happening.
Wow. Okay.
Consecutively.
All right. So Kojak, say goodnight to our special guest.
Miss Mikel.
Yes, sir.
Good night. As you say, we appreciate you for coming on there,
Thank you.
in spite of your schedule, but as long as I see on Vibes, what we do is we give people like you your flowers while you're alive. We appreciate you for what you do for country. Most times we wait on someone when they pass to say whether it was good and things. So that's what we use Vibes is for, just to, sit down and vibes through the journey. Tonight is our 40th episode. We started January 9th.
I think so.
Last week before last, we had to cancel it because we had some issue. But it's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's get right into it, Mikel, since we have much time. Just tell us, I know you're from Grand Bay. I know you for a very long time.
I was thinking, I said, you know so much about me.
So maybe I should let Kojak ask the questions then. Yeah, but I mean, you have made your name in the music, in the music and culture of Dominica. We call it the Princess of Song, and well deserved.
Thank
One
you.
of the better, voices out there. So just tell us, how did your musical journey start?
Well, you would know, but I come from a musical family. My father was a musician, folk musician, with a band called La Jeune Étoile. And he wrote a lot of traditional music, played traditional drums, played guitar, harmonica, wrote songs, and sang a lot. My grandfather before him was also a musician, played the organ at the Catholic Church. And my cousins all play instruments. One of my famous second cousins is Gordon Henderson, so everybody knows him as a musician as well. So
Right.
I was kind of born into that ethos of music, and yeah, I was the next generation to carry the baton. That's it.
Awesome, awesome, and you have indeed done that and more. Yeah. So you're from Granby,
Yes, South
South
City,
City.
massive.
Yes, I. Yes, I. So, I remember very early on, you won a song contest in Dominica. I don't remember exactly what it was.
It was Dominica Festival of Arts has a song competition that they put on. Well, every year, I'm not sure they've had it every year since then, but at that time, it was an annual competition. And I was, what, 14, 15, something like that. And my mom said, "Oh, look, there's a song competition on." I saw some ad somewhere, and she said, "You should write something." Now, I was working on something in my mind before I wanted to prepare a song for the Junior Monarch, so Calypso Monarch
Calypso.
competition. I wasn't prepared to sing it. I was just writing it, probably for somebody else to sing, right? But I started with that, and I remember I was on a guava tree outside the house picking guavas on some precarious limb, and I'm thinking of these lines, and I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe I can use that, you know. And I went into my room. I had a little keyboard. I don't know if you remember. I had a neighbor named Amy Rafa,
Of course.
Rafa's daughter, Amy.
Yes. Yeah.
So Amy had a Casio, and I borrowed Amy's Casio, and I sat down and in my room, and I just started playing around with the few lines I'd thought of on the guava tree. And then by 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I had a song. So I had my father listen to it, and he thought it was great. And he said, "Well, why don't we record it?" This was the last day of the competition, eh? The last day of entries.
Entry. I guess. Yes.
So then we run up by Manai, a Radio Avamago, and I play the song on the keyboard. I sing, and my sister did some background vocals for
Marie
me.
Claire.
Marie Claire. And that's how we recorded that song. And I took that little cassette, ran down to town on a bus, and then brought it in. It was it was probably close to 5 o'clock. It was the last entry into the competition.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was thrilled to hear that I made it in the top 10. To me, that was like, wow, finalist, And all the other finalists was grown people, adults. I was a kid. And these were seasoned performers too, people that were competing all the time. So I was just happy to be in that group, I didn't have any ideas of actually winning the competition. It was just, oh, my song was chosen. Wow, that's nice. And it was re-recorded, and because our little Radio Mama Go recording wasn't top notch.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we entered into the competition. The night of the competition came. I came and I just sang my song. I didn't have any props. I didn't have any other people. I had no. It was just me. And I remember teacher Addie was there, another Henderson who's also involved in the arts. She was with us, and she said to my dad, "But Lambi, Mikkel don't have no props. She don't have no, And I can remember my father saying, "But Daddy, take it easy. Just leave the child alone. Let the child enjoy herself, And when they called all the names of the participants, it still didn't occurred to me that they hadn't called my name, which means I was in the top 3. That didn't, I was on the stage there and they called all the names of people getting participation trophies, because that's how we do it in Dominica. They do and I was like, oh, okay. Top 3, maybe I came third, And then they call the second runner-up, and then they call the first runner-up, and then I'm like, oh, wait.
I won.
Yes.
So, that song was called My Pride.
Yes, I remember that night. I was there.
Yeah. Oh, you were there?
Of course, we would. You forget we had a motorcade going up the ground.
We had a motorcade,
yes.
Boy, we had a motorcade going up. My father was holding the trophy outside the bus when we reached Granby. Boy.
yes, I remember that very well.
That was amazing. Yeah, so that's my first foray into real song competition. I had done one before, but like when I was in school for some Ministry of Health thing, and I came third. But like a real, national competition. Yeah.
So when did you get the interest and the urge for singing?
All the time. I mean, my family sang all the time. So my parents sang in church. So we were always singing. My sister, my brother, and we were always singing. So it was something that was just natural to me. The idea of doing it as like a career came much later. I did it for fun. And then when I noticed that other people were noticing and they were like, oh, you sing well, you should. That's when I started thinking about it like, oh, maybe, and when I joined the band Impact, and I realized that I didn't just join the band, but I ended up being the lead of the band. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. And what about the instruments? Who taught you to play instruments?
Well, my dad started teaching me. I started to play a recorder, the small recorder at home.
Right.
And then I went on to the Career School of Music.
Okay.
And I learned music theory there, and I learned to play classical flute. So I do to this day, I still play. Actually, my flute is right here next to me in my studio. So I still play classical flute. I play folk with an ensemble every year with the Cicero singers, and so I learned music through that.
Awesome. Okay, so, and of course, you're also an awesome songwriter. So at that early age, you could write a song and win a national award at 15. So I mean, it's just not. I guess it's natural. I
have to give my mother props for that. When we were growing up, my mother made it imperative for us to listen to the news, to read the newspaper, to write compositions about our days at school. That was something that was very important to, and it was annoying to us growing up, but it was very useful in me being able to express my ideas. I had a lot of ideas, but being an avid reader and listening to news accounts, because you learn a lot how to express things when you listen to news and read the newspaper and so on. So that honed my skills, and all those compositions I wrote, oh my gosh, all over the years, since I was like probably 8, 9, so I have to give my mother credit for that writing skill that I developed. I'm sure there's some level of natural talent, but the development of that talent, certainly my mom had a lot to do with that.
So let me ask you so who was your biggest influence while you're growing up?
My father. My mom was there doing academically what needed to be done, although my father was a teacher. My mother spent more time doing academic work with us. My father was my number one influencer because he was the musician in the family, and I always looked up to him as some like Superman, right? Like my father.
Well, not only you, all of us did.
Hey, right,
all of us did.
My father had such a presence in the community too. Like, my people revered and respected my dad. So I always looked up to him as
a man of great respect. He musician.
So beside him, there's any artists like, Ophelia or some other artist was older than you that you admire?
Absolutely. I admire Ophelia and I admire Gordon Henderson and Chubby. I admire Chubby for other reasons too, not just that he was a performer, but I admired the fact that Chubby had all these songs in his head. Chubby never wrote down one lyric.
Yes.
You know, that is genius. That is absolute genius. Because he has all these songs that he's quote unquote written, never put them down, but they're all up here. That he's an amazing.
That's a special
That's a
human
skill.
being.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
That
yeah,
is a special skill.
that's a gift.
That's a gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but I was telling Kojak because he doesn't know your father was a musician, like you said, a teacher, a coach, a great
Yes.
sportsman,
Great sportsman,
basketball
yeah.
and cricket. He's
Exactly.
awesome. Yeah, he played for Dominica for basketball.
National team, yeah.
National
I think my
team.
dad still has some records. I think Algan and James was telling me the other day that in second division basketball, he still has the highest score. They haven't beaten that record yet.
Yeah, he can shoot that, bro.
His highest score in a
Oh my
game.
God.
Right. And then
And he was an influence on so many of us. I mean, so many of us. Me, for one, in cricket, and not just cricket, but in mentorship.
Right.
He was an awesome,
He was
awesome
a
man.
father in a larger sense of the word than just a biological parent.
Yes.
He was a father to everybody. He was a person who groomed and supported and who showed an example that people could follow.
Yes.
I
And
guess it's
your
true
mom was
because
also awesome too,
Granby
man.
look like it's a special place, man. I mean, a lot of talent come from Granby. It's like,
Oh man.
it's like like an independent island on its own, man, right?
Serious,
for
Granby
real,
is
though.
like
A
a
republic.
country by itself. It's a republic.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Granby is a place by itself. Because you meet people and they ask them where they're from, and then over Dominica, they tell you they're from Dominica, but Granby will always tell you they're from Granby.
Yes,
from
yes,
Granby.
yes.
They're from Granby.
Yes. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. So tell us, how did your not transition? I won't call it transition, but your decision to go into music as a career. How did that come about?
Well, at the tender age of 15, I joined a band. I was in college at the time, and of course, it was costing so much money to take transportation from Granby to Toronto. And I found myself being able to earn an income while I was going to school. So I started doing the band, and I started doing background vocals for calypsos and those kinds of things. And I was making money. So I was like, oh, okay. This is a pretty neat part-time job, all right?
Yeah.
But then when the band wanted to make an album, I started, we did it seriously, and we did a full jazz, it was a jazz album though. And it started getting noticed across the Caribbean. That was when I realized that, okay, maybe this is something that I really could do more than just like a hobby or a part-time job where I can make money. And when I started making my own music, because I was doing music for the band, but when I started writing my own songs that we compiled into an album, and within some months of releasing that album, I got a call from a festival asking me to perform there. And I was like, oh, wow, so this is actually serious. And I was on the stage with big jazz acts, and Third World was at that concert. And they came
Where
to
was that held?
in Grenada. Spice was called the Spice Jazz Festival.
Okay.
And when we arrived at the airport, they brought their whole band. We arrived at the airport. There was a limousine to pick me up and all these cameras. And I was like, oh, okay.
What?
What like?
I was like, this is serious, man. So yeah, I think at that point, it became real. Like, okay, well, this is something that it's not just something I could dream of and say, well, okay, it's possible. It's actually something that audiences and promoters and people actually thought, could work. So yeah, that helped a lot to solidify it in my mind.
Oh, okay. So you did that festival and you came back, and how long did you play with Impact? How long?
I played with Impact until I was probably like 18, 19, 15 to 19, so about 3 to 4 years. And the group disbanded because musicians traveled. They got gigs on ships and all of that. So it was difficult to stay together as a band. But musicians still play with me to this day. The guitarist from Impact Jerry is still playing with me. He's coming to rehearsal tonight. So we've been playing together from 30-something years. My husband is the bass player. He's the bass player for Impact. So it's been 30 years literally since I've been with these particular musicians. Other musicians did other things. But so about 3 to 4 years I stayed with that band. And in between that, I did some work with Musicano, with Cornell and Elisha Benoit.
Yeah.
And then after that, we just started my own band.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and when did you start your own band?
I think it was it 99 or 2000? I think just about 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when did you record your first album?
I think it was around 2000. Yeah.
Okay. And how did it do? How was it received?
It was the reason why we ended up going to Grenada, because we recorded that album after Musicano.
Okay.
And it was just stuff that I had written years and years ago when I was a kid. Some of it I put together there. And when I listen to it now, I cringe because I'm like, I've grown so much as an artist that I listen to these songs back then. And I feel like I was an amateur.
Yeah, I know.
Right? But yeah, that was the album that really got me noticed in the Caribbean jazz scene. Because right after Grenada, the promoters from St. Lucia were at the Grenada Spice Jazz Festival. So then we got invited to St. Lucia Jazz Festival. And it just went on from there.
Okay. So what genre of songs won the album?
I had a song called A River on that album.
Was it all jazz or different genres?
No, it was kind of a mix. It was more carry jazz, like Caribbean jazz, not really full-on jazz.
Okay.
So I had a song that I had written when my father died called Where Are You Now? And what else? The Beat Goes On.
I just played that song before you came on.
All right. Yeah. So I have two versions of that song. The original that I did on that album, and then later I remixed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you first get invited to play on the World Creole Music Festival?
I have two firsts for that. The very first World Creole Music Festival, I opened because I had the honor of doing the national anthem for the very first event.
Okay.
But I didn't have like a stage performance that year. I think it was maybe 2 years after, or when one of the Musicano albums we did. The all-star band from the Musicano project was invited to perform. So that's when we did that.
Okay. All right. So then there's another huge achievement. I remember you won was it the CARICOM Song Contest?
Oh, well, yeah, it wasn't it was a song contest. But it was a contest to choose an anthem for the CARICOM.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
So it's because there was another event called the CARICOM Song Contest. It was a different event. It was many years ago.
Yes, that's right.
But this particular one was basically the Caribbean Community Secretariat wanted a song that would be an anthem for all the countries together. And so they held a competition to choose a song. So I sat down and wrote one and sent it in. And again, it was chosen as the anthem. So it's being used at every Caribbean event.
Yes,
they will play that song as the anthem.
When they have heads of government meeting.
They play it, right.
And sometimes they do invite you to sing, right?
Yeah, I've been invited a few times to sing it. But like they played without the lyrics as well, like any anthem. So like the Barbados National Band, we play it, or voice choir from, yeah. So they, yeah.
I mean, that's
Um,
that's huge. That's
yeah.
huge. You know,
I
it
always
give me shivers.
I always wonder what my dad would have thought,
Yeah.
about that, because he was somebody who was keen about leaving your mark, making
Yes. Yes.
your presence felt on the planet. And I wanted to do something that was of historical value, and that song allowed me to do that.
I know he's proud.
Yeah.
He's very proud. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are performing on this year's Crowd Festival.
Yes.
Yeah. What night?
Sunday night.
A Sunday night.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sunday night. So we actually have a kind of a impromptu rehearsal this evening.
Okay.
We've been rehearsing all week, but then there's been issues with some of the musicians coming from outside of Dominica, and there's a whole ferry debacle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a little bit, interesting, to say the least.
Let me ask you, what has been your most memorable experience performing out there?
I think probably when I went to, was it Denmark? Because I did a lot of European festivals. I was in Denmark doing a show, and I think it was called the Roskilde Music Festival. And I was playing a brand new song. I don't think I had ever played that song on stage before. And it's just the reaction from the audience, how they were so involved in the music, and they enjoyed it. They genuinely, even though they couldn't speak the language because it was done in Creole, but the music was powerful enough to reach the audience, And at that moment, I realized that music is really a very powerful tool. It's not just something to entertain. It's something that can actually move people. It can change them. It can actually, affect them on a spiritual level. So it was a learning experience for me, and I never forgot what that felt like. So I keep trying to create music and create effects when I'm on stage that do the same thing, that make people feel changed emotionally, changed spiritually.
And what was the biggest, what do you think is the biggest crowd you have ever performed in front?
Ooh, wow. That's hard to say. Because the World Choral Music Festival has huge crowds. I don't know if people actually understand how big the World Choral Music Festival. At some point, you can have 15 to 20,000 people in the park.
Yeah.
It's that big. So I've done that. I've done other events with 6,000, 3,000 people. The Roskilde Festival, our tent couldn't hold the vast numbers of people in the place. So there were people spilling out, but hundreds of thousands of people passed through that festival. So I don't know how many of them would have been in the tent that we were performing, but it was pretty big. But I would say if probably the World Choral Music Festival would be the biggest, because we do have large crowds there.
Yeah. You also have written a number of calypso songs.
Yes.
You never thought of singing calypso?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I thought about it all the time, because I love calypso. I'm a genuine fan of calypso. But I also feel like there's a certain gam about calypso that I don't have.
What is that?
It's a gam. If I could clearly define it, I wouldn't use the word gam.
Okay.
But it's a gam. You understand what I mean by a gam, right?
I know what you
It's a
mean.
certain genre about calypso.
A certain aura. A certain
Yes,
aura.
an X factor about calypso that I don't find in myself. I wish I had it, because I really love calypso. And I've spent many years doing background vocals for calypso, singing for the finals, quarters, semis. I've sung through many of Dice Crownings, because I did many of his background vocals on his recordings and live. on stage during the competitions. So for me, and I've written songs that have made it to the, every calypso I've ever written has made it to the finals. So for me, that is also an achievement. I feel like I can write good songs, good calypsos, but I haven't found that special magic of a calypsonian yet in my performance. Maybe am yet to find it. Maybe it's there, but to that point, I mean, because I do want to do calypso. I just haven't mustered up the courage.
You can do
Well,
it.
as
You can do
Nike
it.
say, just do it.
You
Yeah,
can
it's
do it.
possible to just do it.
You're from
Just do
Soul
it.
City.
But let me ask you. So, do you ever get like I was saying like nervous before you perform or things?
Yeah. It goes away pretty quickly, but I do get nervous. But I realize that I only actually get nervous when I am not as prepared as I want to be. If I am thoroughly prepared for something, there's no nerves about it. But if I know, well, okay, I didn't quite prepare as much as I want to, then there's usually nerves. But then once you get onto the stage, you have to take control of the situation. You cannot, at that point, you cannot second guess.
Because you're on there already. Right?
You're on there already. And once you take charge of the situation, then the nerves go away.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't fault people for being nervous, because it's a natural human reaction. It's a natural thing, because and I am more nervous in smaller settings than I am in larger crowds.
Really?
Yes, because people are right there. It's right up close to you. It's intimate. So I have more nerves when I'm doing smaller venues than when I do larger.
What is the highest place that one of your calypsos you written have achieved in the finals?
I think last year, third place. Yeah. Third, more than once I've come third. My song, my competitor has come third. Oh, no, Shanice won. Or did Shanice win? No, in the national competition itself, third, but she did win the Stardom Queen of the 10th, yes, so she won that. She won.
What was the song she sang again?
Which one she sang this time? I didn't keep track. I cannot remember.
Yeah, I forgot.
But I know she won, and then when they did the virtual competition, I think she also placed, in the top 4 as well. She's been consistently in the top 4. Shanice has been my artist for a while, and I've also written for Benno, and he was in the finals as well with the songs that I wrote.
Where's Benno? He don't sing anymore.
Not really calypso, no. It's more gospel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk with 833. Let's talk about the genre of music now that that's coming out of Dominica that is blowing up.
Booyah.
Give me your views on the current state of Booyah and how far it has gone and how far you think it can still go.
Well, I think they say strike while the iron is hot. Right now the iron is hot for Booyah. I think it is a how do you call it now? What's the word I'm looking for? It's an avenue for us to get our creativity out there. It's infectious. It's popular. But my only caveat on there is that we need to be more responsible with how we present ourselves out there. Because we know the music is already infectious. We can feel, we see how it took over. Booyah has sort of replaced soca as the music of carnival everywhere.
Yes, no doubt.
So every carnival now wants Booyah as their main dance music. That is very powerful. very powerful. So it gives us an opportunity to assert ourselves and basically to take over a certain, you know, sector of the music industry. I disagree with the whole nasty business idea just because I feel like we have such a high platform now that that shouldn't be what leads, you know? It shouldn't be what is in the forefront. There's always been adult content in all kinds of music, in R&B, in rap and everything. So I'm not knocking the fact that there is adult content. I'm saying that when we put our best foot forward, it should be something that's more edifying, something that's more long lasting, because you need songs that will last into the future, that people will want to play, that is radio worthy, that sort of thing, that they have a certain longevity about them. But those songs don't. They come and they go, and you will see now, even right now, the more popular Bouyon songs, like someone else is like, blown up. Family was done by Marshall, but it's a Dominican song. Blown up. They were not nasty business songs.
That's right. I always say that.
You understand?
Yeah.
They're not nasty business songs. So whereas that may have its place with certain audiences in a club at 2 o'clock in the morning or wherever, and I'm not knocking anybody for doing what they want to do there.
Right.
But I think if we're going to push and promote ourselves and our music, I would be cautious about using those types of songs. We should use songs that are a little more palatable to the general public. You understand? Because we also have a duty as musicians to mold the next generation. We don't want to be feeding kids with material that is not age appropriate. That's my take on it.
I could not say anything better.
Yeah.
Could not say anything better. So I had a question while you were talking. And
sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. It'll come. When you're getting old, that's what happens.
Oh, let me tell you about it.
Well, while you're looking for your thing, but I have a hard time comparing that nasty business in Bouyon, where Bouyon came from. And this new thing there, I don't see that as Bouyon. I rather just say it as nasty business. What CK, even that new album,
Signal.
Little Man just put on a signal.
Yeah.
That is Bouyon. But them other things,
That
not
was
that I'm
my
knocking
question.
it, I think they should categorize it
As its own thing.
as its own thing, yes. Nasty business. Yeah, that's just my take.
Well, yeah, that was what my question was about, kind of.
Okay.
Comparing the traditional bouillon from WCK and Serenade back in the day, right?
Yes.
To today's current iteration
Yes.
of bouillon, right? I mean, of course, it's similar, but there are some differences,
Yes.
And I remember.
So my band is coming in for the rehearsal.
That's fine. I remember I used to argue, in the early stages I said, that's not bouillon music.
Yeah.
That's not bouillon. That's not the bouillon I know and grew up on.
Right.
But I also understand things evolve.
Evolve. Yes. Yes.
So is an iteration, is a version.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Of
It's an offshoot.
Yes.
And as you say, it's an iteration of it, which has found, whether we like it or not, has found some popularity.
Yes. A lot.
So exactly, and it's sort of pierced through the veil that we've been trying to get through for a long time of popular music. And then as soon as it pierced through with that, it's like a shock and awe thing. People were like so shocked that then they started trying to listen to other, and then the other nicer songs came along.
Right.
Like Shelley did with Annie By Your Love.
Right. Yes.
And then, so Signal Band has really taken off with that. And Kwan and Little Boy with someone else.
Yeah.
Marshall Montana with Family. There's songs that really appeal to a much wider audience than just the adult,
Right.
kind of thing.
No, I have a question, and you're probably the best person, one of the best persons to educate me on this. I think collaboration is great for music and musicians, to help enhance and further the music. But I'm also a little concerned that many, well, some popular artists,
Right.
from other countries who have a lot more people than us, are now not just collaborating; they're actually making bouillon songs. You understand? Like Nale Blackman is
Yes.
one of them.
She was
So
just here. Yes,
do,
last
do
night.
you see any peril, any danger of our music being not stolen, but like some other group like Trinidad taking that and kind of making it their own and becoming the preeminent artist of bouillon?
Well, I'm not too concerned about that, to be honest. I think imitation is the greatest form of flattery. I think them trying to imitate us means that we have something that's valuable,
Right.
and I feel like if, quite frankly, if they did not use their platform to put those songs on, we would not be enjoying this notoriety that we enjoy
True.
right now.
True.
So it's because people like Asa were invited into the soca fraternity to do the Uber Soca cruise, and to those are the reasons why we the platform was elevated for Bouillon. So we cannot knock that, the fact that other people want to actually get in on the action now.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And I think that as long as we maintain ownership of it, we keep the message that Bouillon is very Dominican, and I would even argue with them. I see people had a big issue with Marshall about Bouillon is not soca and soca is not Bouillon. And what I'm trying to say is, in the grand scheme of things, we should not be fighting each other on that. We should actually work together, because it's the same audiences that consume soca are the ones who are going to be ones consuming it. And eventually they'll realize that this is a uniquely Dominican thing. The same way that you realize that soca is very Trinidadian. As long as we maintain the integrity of our thing and we keep doing it, they will realize that. But I don't think we should butt heads about it. Not now, because it's just the thing is still in its nascent stage. You understand? It's still in an infant stage, and I don't want to create any kind of turmoil that will disrupt the rise of the bouillon.
Right.
And I feel like we did a little bit of that in the early stages, and we need to take back. I realized that the major players like Esa and Rija and these guys, they recognize this. That's why they don't argue in the forefront about the whole bouillon is not soca. So it's really people in the background that argue and have that whole argument. Because these guys realize that the soca platform is what gave them the launch they needed.
Yes. Yes.
You understand? So yes, we want to maintain our idea, but we shouldn't fight about it. We should just assert it calmly.
Right.
Bouillon is Dominican. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
So I am I am comforted by what you just said. About bouillon remaining.
Well, let me
unique.
hold
Hold on,
on a
Koji.
second, but what I understand from Donza is that the artist is talking about, they are more popular, they're big time artists, and they could have an impact on that boy because they are more popular than our artists. So if they take it, people might think, well, that comes from Trinidad.
Yeah,
But
let me
that's
just caveat that. Let me just add what he's saying there. So, what you say make a lot of sense. Okay, but that is why a point you made earlier. It is critically important that we, right, maintain music as palatable. Bouillon that
Is correct.
Exactly.
Because if you notice what the bigger artists are doing, did you listen to Nyla's song she released? Right, the brand new song.
Yeah.
It's palatable to anyone and everyone.
Yes.
You understand? So we have to maintain that level of creativity and performance. That's what we need to do.
Right.
And not be the baser level of the bouillon,
That's right.
because we will allow room for those artists to enjoy the prominence that we should be enjoying. You understand? So we have to make sure that our music is at that standard, so that we compete at that standard. And we do collaborations with them, because they have audiences. I mean, these people have millions of viewers. It doesn't make sense to fight with them over the whole thing. You have to actually collaborate.
Yeah.
And as long as we assert that, okay, this is our thing, we keep doing that, I don't see how it is that they will. Nobody's been able to take over Jamaica and reggae, and everybody does reggae.
Everybody, yeah.
I mean,
Everybody
everybody
does
does
the whole world does
reggae.
reggae.
Whole world does reggae. What's his name? Lucky W is one of the biggest reggae artists in the whole world.
Yes.
But everybody knows that reggae comes from Jamaica.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
But my question to you is though, can these guys that singing that nasty thing write good lyrical music?
I wouldn't know whether they can or not. I shouldn't say that, because there was somebody who did a little documentary on Suki. You know Suki, the artist?
Yes.
And they played in that documentary a song that Suki wrote. That was phenomenal in my view. I listened to that song and I was like, that it was so poetic and so creative, but nobody knows that song. Nobody knows that song. Everybody knows him for his loud out stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody knows him for that. And it's a song that sort of talks about his journey with drug addiction. Fantastic song. And this guy played, the guy from Guadeloupe played, he had a sample of it. I don't know how he got it. But I was like, so it means that they do have that level of creativity. But because probably, they throw out some trash stuff, some nasty business, and it sticks. So all of a sudden they're like, okay, that's the only thing that sticks. They don't realize that we get to curate what the audience listens to. We are the ones that determine that, the artists. So we can actually put good stuff out there. We don't have to put out, degrading stuff there. You can write. I find nothing wrong with sensual lyrics. I find wrong with degrading lyrics. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I think we can write songs that are sensual and still not be debasing to women, because most of the songs it's not even debasing on a general level, it's debasing to women. And as a woman, I take offense to that.
Well, now we see, and we're seeing, some of the big names in Bouillon. We see Dice. Well, Dice was in CK before.
Yeah.
But we recently, on Little Man's album, we see Dice making a comeback on Bouillon, also Skinny Banchan. Do you think you would venture into Bouillon?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. I've written Bouillon songs before,
Okay.
And I was one of the main writers on Colin XP's Bouillon Army.
Okay.
Bouillon Army, right? So it's not that I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, consider it. It's just I've been known more for the cadas, being the person who kind of maintains the little canas we still have in modern music. So I've kept doing that. But I have songs that are written in Bouillon. I wrote the reunion song that I wrote some years ago, 2008. It's a Bouillon. So it's possible.
Okay.
I could do it.
Of course you can. I know you can. What do you think about like right now everybody's into Bouillon? Okay. It's like inundated. It's like just avalanche of Bouillon. You go on YouTube and you just see all kinds of Bouillon music, all kind of songs, all kind of Bouillon rhythms from And what I realize is, like, I go for YouTube. You just mentioned Colin XP's album. There are some very good Bouillon songs that do not get
they don't get
any
airplay.
recognition.
That's right.
On Colin XP, he's one of them.
Yeah.
A guy called Fetty Mac is one of them. I just discovered one from Daddy Miller. I never heard that song before. And some of the better Bouillons, you don't hear about it.
You don't hear about it, no. They don't get the level of airplay that the other songs get. I guess that's an issue in marketing too. I guess on how it is that those particular artists market their work.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of to say. Well,
Or the DJs.
well, yeah, you have to be part of your marketing is you have to be very friendly with the DJs.
Yeah, that's why they play that.
Yes,
You have to
true.
be very
True.
friendly with the
True.
DJs.
You have to know how to entice them.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but-
So tell us about the current situation back home with festival. I know it rained today.
Yes.
Is there forecasted to be rain this weekend?
It's supposed to lighten up. Actually, the heavy part of the rain would have today. I think today is supposed to have been the heavier part of it. From what I saw, the forecast is supposed to lighten up as the week goes by, and by Saturday we're supposed to have sunshine.
Okay.
Sunday is supposed to be overcast, but not necessarily rainy.
Okay.
So yeah, it's looking up. Usually, when the moisture comes the weekend before, then we have a little bit of a drier
Right.
festival. But if it's dry this week, then next week is going to be
Yeah.
wet.
And then we have this debacle with the
Yes,
transportation,
the ferry.
ferries
Yeah, so
and
there
all
was
that
a
stuff.
whole issue with the ferry. Part of the issue was maintenance. So some of the equipment broke down, and then the weather. Combination of the two resulted in lots of cancellations. So and cancellations. No, because this week is already full. The ferry was already full. So there was no way for them to make up for the last 3 days of canceled. First, you cannot put them on this week because it's full.
It's full, yeah.
Yeah,
Fully booked, yes.
it's all booked,
Yeah.
and they still have equipment that's out of order. So they actually don't have a choice right now. It's unfortunate that it happened this week.
Yeah.
What usually happens, well, in years gone by, from what I understood, they would do a dry dock period during September, where they maintain the vessels and everything, and then they come back for the busy season.
Yeah.
But I think only one vessel went into scheduled maintenance, and then they had the other two running, but the other two were burning the midnight oil, so one of them broke down. Again, so they only had, I think they only had one, and then the weather was bad. So
Yeah. I really hope that everybody who bought the tickets, I hope they make it.
I'm hoping. The only other thing I can think of is for them to charter a vessel to fulfill their. But they basically just told people it's cancelled and they'll issue them a refund and they're sorry.
Wow.
But the Ministry of Tourism has organized some charters. There's
Okay.
2 coming in tonight from St. Lucia, some charter flights.
Okay, flights, yeah.
But those are, that's an additional cost for patron seekers. I think it's 196 if anybody's listening.
Yes,
They
I
have-
saw 196. First
Yeah,
come, first
my
serve.
brother's, yes, exactly. My brother's supposed to come in tonight
Oh,
on one of
Bert?
those flights. Yes.
Okay.
So I have to go pick him up. So, but he's coming in late.
Okay.
So we're squeezing in a rehearsal in between that and then.
Wow.
Yep. Busy.
Yeah, I just hope everybody gets to go. And,
So
don't
what
get
night you
disappointed.
on?
Sunday
Sunday
night.
night.
Sunday the 26th
And
of October.
how much time you have?
1 hour. We do 60 minutes.
Yeah.
We're also performing at TV Village Creole, which is in the garden.
That's Thursday?
All week on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday evening, yeah. Yes, so
Kojak, why you ask her how much time she have?
No, because I know
that's not a
I
sport
heard
artist,
Lynn for John say you only have 15 minutes.
But come on.
because
I know.
there's a lot of artists
Yeah.
Yes.
on the festival. And so what they've done is that they've combined some of the acts.
I realize that.
So myself and Elisha Benoit will be performing together. So our entire set will be 60 minutes, but it would consist of both myself and Elisha. And so yeah, it's and this roster is so stacked that it's going to be difficult for everybody to have An hour. I think it has. I think there are too many artists on the
I
festival.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah,
Too
it's
much.
too many.
Too many. It make no sense.
But they wanted to do that for the 25th anniversary, so I'm guessing that
Yes.
that's what's driving that.
Yeah, and this. I mean, I'm kind of happy that there's a number of local artists who have been invited to perform. A lot, you know, some of the old veterans and Linford John and
Right. I saw him today, actually. I saw Linford today.
oh yeah,
Yes. I gave him a big hug.
Gil Fontaine is there too.
Jill Fontaine.
That I'm looking forward to because I have
Who is he performing? The
never
Groovers he
seen.
playing?
Yes, I think he's performing Groovers. But I have never seen.
Him
I've
perform.
always heard about Jill Fontaine all my life, you know, but I've never actually seen him perform. I've seen him, you know, do interviews and do little cameo performances, but like actual
But
performance.
he said Dominicans had never seen him perform.
No, so that is going to be a unique experience.
Wow.
He said Dominicans had never seen him
That's
because he
amazing.
say what he, you know, not regret, but he say he never had a band. That's why he say he could be further in the music thing, but that solo thing would not work for him. He wanted to have a band.
Yeah.
Even he say the other band in St. Thomas, and I forget the name of the band. And one day he came up with an idea why they don't call it Gil Fontaine and you know whatever.
And,
And, this guy, and them guys was like,
Nah.
he said that really hurts him, man. But I heard him on Wadix last week Thursday, and he was like,
Yeah, but we almost out of time. I don't want to keep you too long. The last question I want to ask you is about. I mean, I see you as one of the the most savvy business musicians. You know,
Thank
I mean, taking care, and of course you offer your expertise and experience by offering classes and so forth, which is a wonderful thing. And I really, it breaks my heart that we have some real phenomenal artists who perform like our boy Chubby, perform for decades, and I mean, everybody loves him, but the business part of the music was not,
Yeah. Not done in his favor.
yes. So, just tell us how important this is, and maybe encourage people, to understand what they're doing.
That is one of the aspects of the current rising booyah industry that I'm very concerned about, because a lot of artists have very little understanding of their rights and how the whole thing, how the parts fit together.
Right.
And so it creates issues when you have a song, a hit song goes out, and then everybody now trying to pull at it one hand down, saying, no, but that is mine, and don't, this is, no, you cannot do this, and you can do this. And it now becomes a problem because the initial steps of making sure that things are in order before you actually publish a song were not done. And they keep repeating that cycle over and over again. They're so excited to create music that they don't think about putting the order in first before you release it. And so a lot of confusion has come through. I'm hoping, I've spoken to several of the, different parties, especially those that are involved in the conflicts and so on, and explain to them that it's important that you handle those things. If you don't know about them, ask some advice. And you handle those things before you actually publish any music, so that when it does go out there aren't any issues. And you don't have to be friends, and you don't have to talk to each other, as long as you organize the business in such a way that everybody knows where everybody stands. Everybody knows who has ownership of what, and then so you don't have any issues, and everybody feels fairly treated. That what they receive from it is a proper prorated contribution, that compensates them and is commensurate for what they actually did on the album or the song or the track. Right. So we need to sort of reinforce that this is more than just fun. This is more than just
playing music.
Playing music. It's more than just entertainment. I tell them we need to stop using the word playing music because we think it's a game.
I know.
It's a game.
We still think it's a game.
Yeah.
So It's really a business, a multi-billion-dollar business.
Right.
And so we should be getting our piece of the pie. With bouillon on the rise like that, there's no reason why we shouldn't be milking that cow right now.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And there's a proper way to do that, and it's very easy. It's not that complicated. People make it sound complicated, but it's not. It's just a matter of doing the business in advance. You understand? Oh.
She just showed me she's on the honor roll. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Good job.
Papa God is
Good
Good
job.
job.
She was so excited. She wanted to tell you. She's been in the corner there for a little while, you know.
Oh really? I didn't see.
I saw her off the corner of my eye. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But yeah. So it's something. Like you said, I've done workshops in collaboration with the University of the West Indies to talk about the music business, describe the components of the music business, to tell people about their copyrights, what rights they can keep, what rights they can, because you're going to have to cede some rights if you're going to work with people. You have to give up some stuff. So, but know what you're giving up and what you should keep, you know, and how you go about assigning who gets what. There's a formula, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's done already. It's, you know, this is a formula that has existed for hundreds of years. We can just, you know, fall into the formula and reap the benefits like the rest of the world are reaping the benefits. Yeah.
Well, that was my final question. Kojak, you have any last questions?
Just keep up the good work, and you know, keep making us proud, and keep giving your flowers while you're alive.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Thank
It was
you
an
very
honor
much.
and a pleasure. Yes, and maybe we can do it again for the second half. You know, another hour, another time.
Anytime at your convenience. Just let us know.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right,
no
all
problem.
the best with your rehearsal and your performance. I know it's going to be great.
Thank
and
you.
all the best for the independence, okay? And take
Thank
care.
you very much, and good night to your
Happy
listeners.
47th.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, good night.